Animal Crossing New Horizons released almost 1 year ago, March 20th, 2020, right around the time that the whole world was about to shut down. I don't want to think about what sort of madness I would have descended into if this game didn't release when it did.
What I want to say is you were there for me. By my side.
Now, as we approach the game's 1 year anniversary, a lot of fans have been curious as to if we'll see some sort of year 2 update for the game. So I'm gonna do what Nintendo fans do best and speculate wildly. So join me on this journey as we set ourselves up for disappointment together.
There is actually some precedent for a major version 2.0 style update to New Horizons. In a last-ditch effort to sell their Animal Crossing line of amiibo back in 2016, Nintendo decided to create a version 2.0 for New Leaf on the Nintendo 3DS, and they called it Welcome Amiibo. And this was like a thick update, okay? It added in the new character, Harvey, who hung out at the new campsite location on the side of town, where you'd see new characters occasionally come and park their campers and visit. They added in a new currency called Meow Coupons, which worked a lot like Nook Miles. You'd complete daily tasks to earn rewards. They of course added in a large collection of new furniture that you could buy only with this fancy new currency. They made quality of life improvements. They more than doubled your storage capacity. They threw in some mini games. They let you sit on the rocks. I mean, that's probably the biggest game changer right there if you think about it. This update bolsters my confidence that an Animal Crossing Year 2 update is on its way for New Horizons.
Now I'm gonna start by laying out the predictions that I think are no-brainers. Here are the predictions that I think are shoo-ins for version 2.0.
In every other Animal Crossing game, Nook's Cranny had multiple iterations that you could unlock by spending the big bucks. Whether they upgrade to TNT Mart, Nook Way, or even the illustrious multi-level shopping mall Nookingtons, it seems to me like a given that we'll see Timmy and Tommy remodel Nook's Cranny and take on a new form. And this update would of course go perfectly with the number of furniture items in New Horizons is actually quite small compared to previous titles. I think it would make perfect sense to add in an entirely new furniture catalog only available at the upgraded store. This would give players a reason to come back to check the store every day and would certainly inspire island designers. New Horizons, more than any other title, emphasizes furniture and design. What better way to coerce people back into the game than to give them a whole new chest of toys to play with? Since New Horizons launched, this has been one of the most hotly discussed and highly anticipated additions to the game. People just love checking into the cafe, getting a little cup of coffee, sitting down and contemplating the meaninglessness of it all. In New Leaf, players could even get a part-time job working at the cafe, taking coffee orders and making lattes to fit their different villagers' tastes. Nah, I don't want to know where this man's getting his pigeon milk from, alright? Brewster, the bird himself, also has an association to a particular Animal Crossing collectible that's still strangely absent from New Horizons.
Now, for players like myself who have already completed the fossil exhibit in the first year of the game, it's kind of hard to find any sort of motivation to go run around town searching for those elusive dig spots. But what if I told you that there was another collectible? A different treasure, if you will, buried around town. Yes, of course, I'm talking about those wiggly boys.
Gyroids were a strange but iconic Animal Crossing collectible. You could put these dudes in your house, they'd sit there, give you a headache, dancing around, making weird-ass noises. It was amazing. By bringing the gyroids back, they'd be giving players a whole new category of collectibles to tackle. And this time, you can donate them to the museum. Collect them all, and you'll be greeted by a symphony of gyroids, all singing together, like My Singing Monsters or some shit. It's a bit of a shock, honestly, that we've gone a whole year with this game with no minigames. Personally, I haven't played online with my friends in months. There's just nothing to do. In New Leaf, you and your friends could pile into Captain's boat and go compete in challenges on the tropical island. This was an awesome change of pace for playing with friends, and it's something that we desperately need in New Horizons. I've actually talked about this once before. If you haven't seen my idea for Tortimer's Casino, click that card at the top there.
Now that does it for the features that I think are pretty safe bets. Any or all of those additions would be more than welcome in New Horizons. But here's where it gets interesting. Let's talk about those features that could go either way. We might see them, we might not.
In New Leaf, you were able to visit Isabel's brother, Digby, and he would show you all around the Happy Home Showcase, a collection of houses gathered by people you've interacted with. You could pop in, see how people are decorating their houses, and even order furniture from the personalized catalog for each home. It was like QVC for Animal Crossing. Now, Street Pass, the technology that was used to collect this home data from people, is actually no longer incorporated in the Switch, but it's certainly possible that we could see the developers rework this idea with some simple online integration. I'm sure this feature would be a welcome return for many. Alright, we gotta get real for a second. A very common complaint against players of New Horizons is how long the process of visiting someone's island over the internet can take. You gotta text your friend, ask them to open their gates, you gotta run down to the airport, you gotta go to the Dodo Man, gotta ask to travel, search for available islands, go through this whole wall of text, and once you finally board the plane, it stops everything for every player to show this long-ass cutscene. That's okay, cause this is a seaplane. Shut up, Dodo Man, we know this. See this right here? This is a mess. The amount of time it takes between wanting to visit someone's island and actually getting there often creates just enough friction or resistance for me that I almost never end up actually visiting my pals. Why not just have a Dodo Airlines app where you can open your gate and see open gates from people on your friends list remotely? Then, if you see one you want to visit, you can just select it in the app and then hop on the plane from wherever you are and skip this whole lengthy process. Alright, maybe it's just me, but for a game all about crafting and customization, I think it's kinda odd that we've yet to see Reese and Cyrus actually make an appearance on the island. In New Leaf, you could bring furniture to their store, along with the crafting materials, and using their alpaca power, I guess, they could customize your furniture for you. In New Horizons, customization control is largely given to the player. Most of the time. What happened to those customizable fences from the trailer, Nintendo, huh? For some reason, specific items have color variants available, but the game doesn't actually offer you access to them. For example, these light posts. In my Nook Miles catalog, I saw these light posts and it got me thinking,
does it come in black?
I want a black light post, but my Nook catalog just doesn't offer them. They only offer green. Now I know some islands offer them in black, but mine doesn't. This is where having Cyrus would come in handy. If he were added in, I could just take it in and have it customized in 30 minutes or less. And speaking of Reese and Cyrus, remember that wedding season event? Whatever happened there? For those who weren't yet playing New Horizons, last spring there was a limited time event. You went to Harv's Island and you can get exclusive wedding themed furniture by participating every day of the month, staging the room and taking pictures of the happy couple. Now, I just assumed that this was going to be a monthly thing moving forward, like, alright, every month they got a new theme with new furniture to unlock, but that didn't end up happening. For some reason they only did this once and then never revisited the idea. Harvey's sitting there on the island all alone, and Nintendo abandoned him. This is not okay. Whatever happened to farming? We legit only farmed pumpkins during October, and it was really fun. And then Nintendo just said, alright gang, let's wrap it up, we're done. Farming is in Animal Crossing. I mean, how about giving us a new crop to tend to every month, along with new furniture recipes? You already know I'm trying to decorate my house with all corn furniture, okay, Nintendo? Let's talk paid DLC. Nintendo has been riding the DLC train for a lot of their games recently, and I could definitely see them offering some sort of optional subscription model for New Horizons. I'd imagine they'd tether this plan to my girl, Gracie. Gracie can open up an exclusive high-end store in town like she had in previous titles. By paying, I don't know, $15 for the year or something, you can get access to this store where you can buy expensive, rare, and bougie items not available to the general public.
Treat yourself.
Now, I still expect Nintendo to continue supporting this game with free updates, but honestly, I wouldn't put it past them at this point to start monetizing the game with DLC like they do in Pocket Camp.
Now, of course, a man can dream, alright? I'd love to see new dialogue options, new hourly music, new customization options for the buildings in your town. But sadly, I don't see any of those things getting added in. But Nintendo, if you're listening, New Horizons fans, we love your game. It's a peaceful, carefree experience where we can express ourselves and escape the turmoils of our everyday life. But if you're going to make a Year 2 update, I'd implore you, listen to the fans. Focus on fixing those issues that have been plaguing this game from day one. But most importantly, bring back the Froggy Chair.